This video is brought to you by Ravenscraft Realty of Northeast Missouri.
A little Tuesday evening mechanicking featuring Chief Mechanic Chase.
Who's definitely not a part of the Goldinger pulling team.
No, but he says he's the Chief Mechanic, so he's in charge of helping. Anyways, pulling tractor, leaking head gasket, so we are... I won't say we, mostly him. I'm staying here watching. Since he's changed heads, gaskets on a 40-20 to 40-20, that makes him qualified to do this, I guess. So
It's all the same.
same basic concept, exactly. So we're taking some stuff off. I'd say the gasket's been leaking pretty decent for a little bit because the inside of the turbo housing is black. The intake manifold is oily. Just blowing oil out all over the place.
And look at this. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Nice and oily.
Came out of the turbo. Yeah. Anyway, we gotta get it all apart. Yeah, that's great. Get everything off here, and apparently this is not the standard head gasket. A few other things different. We'll get it all apart, see what we got, and find the parts we need and go back together. Yeah, it's later, I don't know, 10:30. Oh, maybe 2.5 hours later. Got it all apart. Head bolts, push rods, all the good stuff. Gonna go back with head studs. Now we're pushing out more power. Anyway, I'm gonna call my guy tomorrow and find out what we need gasket wise to make this thing not do this again. We gotta do a little cleanup tomorrow, but that's okay. It rained again this evening. It'll be a little wet for doing anything outside for a while. We'll have plenty of time to finish messing with this up. Of course, yes, we made mostly coolant, but a little bit of a mess. Friday the 20th, I'm back at Fall Creek. It's been 10 days since I've been over here. The corn's grown, I don't know, 2.5 feet. Now it's probably 6.5, 7 foot tall. Finally getting over here to bring my nitrogen tank over. Trying to get some nitrogen on through the pivot first a week. Keeps raining all the time, which I guess is not a bad thing. Ground where it's exposed, a little sandy right here, is pretty dry, but get out in here, there is still ample moisture. You can see the beginnings of the shoot right there. I just pulled a whirl out. Looks like we got 3 or 4 leaves left to emerge, and then we'll be tasseling. So probably another 10 days or so. Be tasseled by the end of the month.
It's Sunday afternoon. Really haven't done a whole lot today other than go to church and visit my sister in Columbia. I think I'm going to fire the 40-20 up, hook up the mower, and go do a little bit of clipping. It's about 95 degrees right now. And yes, I do have a perfectly good 4455 with a cab and air conditioning, but that's not what I want to do today. It's another balmy 90-plus degree day here in lovely Northeast Missouri. I'd even go so far as to call it tropical Northeast Missouri due to the heat and humidity. I just grabbed a water, put on some sunscreen. I'm going to jump in the 4455 and I'm going to go mow here for a couple of hours. We've got a little bit of the stuff that was out here cleaned up, but I need to get my outhouse out of the way. But there she is, everybody's favorite new old tractor, the 4455. Historically, our guy Rob that passed away was the person who mowed this farm. So I didn't know that there was this little tree here. And every time I see an innocent locust tree minding its own business, I just can't have it. That's just unacceptable. So Goodbye, locust tree. This farm was known as the Colligan Farm back in the day. We actually bought this from Rob's family in like 99 or 2000. And at that point, there was an old house and an old barn here on this hillside. I'll see if I can find a picture of it on Vintage Aerial. As you can see there in that picture, there was all kinds of stuff kind of at the top of this hill. There's only one building that's left over from that period of time, however. And that would be not the ice house, the spring house that's at the bottom of the hill. And we'll head on down there and check it out since we're here. Here is the spring house, which is starting to deteriorate more and more. Ugh. Yeah, there's just water that flows out of here all year, every year. No matter how hot and dry it gets, this spring still runs. Now, Rob says that this tank here on this side of us was used to put the milk cans. After they milked the dairy cows, they put them in here with the cool water coming out of the side of the hill. Then it kept them cold, and that way they could keep it longer. Doggone it, I should have brought my water bottle. I guess I should get back to work. A 1460 with rear wheel assist and a spreader. That is awesome. Maybe someday I can have a cool combine like that. Or, I have a better idea. A John Deere 105 corn special with a 404 diesel swapped into it with an M&W turbo. That would be so sick. I guess for now I'm just stuck with a nice low hour 4455. The wheat here in northeast Missouri is going to be coming off very soon, and all the double crops are also going to be going in very soon. I told one of my friends that has some double crop beans, I said, Chris, if I buy 12-row planter with row shutoffs, will you let me plant some beans for you? Just because I got to play with in my new planter if I buy one. I'm inspecting my replant beans here at the airport. The replant fared a lot better than the first plant beans. So here's the first plant and the replant. I actually have enough out here for a decent stand this time, fortunately. And you can kind of row them both ways, kind of. But replanting these was definitely the right call. This farm is a very large L shape, and I don't really feel like going all the way back to the other side of the L to find out what that looks like. It looked okay when I replanted it, so I just put them straight down the middle of the old rows.
So that's the, no, that's, you don't want that one, that's M12. You want there's an M18 version of that.
The next Goldinger Farms power tool. Dad's corn here in Illinois is pretty doggone tall. Dad and I aren't the tallest guys in the world, but this is well over our heads. Like this tall. Oh, this is silly. This evening's irrigation problem is this up here leaks. However, we can't get this pipe out to replace the gasket, so we're just gonna make it work. The problem has been partially solved. If something is rigid, you just take enough bolts out to where it's not rigid. Then you use a newly purchased ratchet strap to pull this part of the pipe backwards so that the other pipe has a little bit more room. That's all there is to it. We had to break out the second new ratchet strap to try and crank this thing in evenly, because we still have a heck of a gap back here. It would appear as if our leak has been fixed enough, but this water has a lot of iron in it. We have succeeded. Only an hour and change to do it. Nitrogen's pumping, sun is setting, water's flowing. Life is good. Right, Dad? I don't think that I'm going to get this truck turned around right here, so probably going to have to back all the way out. There's a train going by, but I just measured the level of the bay. We're at 0.85, river's at 12.65 feet, and I just had to go to Walmart in Hannibal. Ooh boy. You could hear the cop sirens, and someone was getting yelled at in the parking lot. I just got in, got what I needed, and got out. Sometime I'll do a proper tour of the pump house down here. And this place is pretty neat. Uh-oh. Grandpa left the water on for the tanker. Of course, I've never done that. I totally didn't do that 3 days ago when Dad explicitly told me, hey, make sure the tanker doesn't run over. And then it ran over. Yeah, I'd say she's been running over for a little while now. Hello, dog. Judging by the smoke coming from my center slip clutch and the lack of cut grass underneath the center pan, I think I need to go adjust my slip clutches. I would keep mowing, but I've got a lot of mowing ahead of me, and I don't want to mess with that. Dad and Jaden are back there, and we collectively are finally getting the bean planter cleaned out since Grandpa confirmed to us that we didn't need to replant anything else. So that means that we can finally clean the planter out. On today's episode of Goldinger Farms, have to take the dog to the doctor's office, but the car is dead, so Jaden and I got the battery charger and the jump pack and our perfect little girl May, who got in a fight in the back seat. Oh yeah, she's going now. Bye-bye. Hurry, the rains are coming. We got bales to move. We've got some more bales to move about 1.5 miles away, just so they don't get rained on again.
It's Wednesday, the 25th, down here in the bottom north of Hannibal. It's corn planted 10th or so of April, or not April, sorry, May. Yeah, about mid-chest high, something like that. Anyway, we got ammonium sulfate put on. Actually, they're putting it on across the road, just to the west of my truck. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and turn the water on and go ahead and get what we've got on where we can, get it taken in. Actually, been some showers in the area today, but we haven't got any right here. So you make use of the pivots, get this ammonium sulfate watered into the ground so it can be used, and probably go ahead and run them, keep running the pivots here while it's been hot. Been in the mid-90s all week, gonna stay that way the rest of the week. Got plenty of moisture down deep, but gotta keep the top part moist.
The dog has been antagonizing the Palmyra panther. The Palmyra panther has had enough. She's trying to bite him, but he's just standing there taking it. Come on, fight back. I'm pleased to report that the Palmyra panther made his escape. Someone has been in the pond. May has been in the pond too. I did something today. I was bidding on an auction and I had the winning bid on something. So tomorrow we're gonna go and get it.
Driving the old Ford a little bit this morning, take some fuel to spare, coming down the driveway. Heard a pop. Yep, just blew the tire out somewhere. I don't see the hole, but somewhere. No longer around. I think they're kind of seeing better days anyway. Well, add that to the list, things gotta get fixed. Yeah, work on irrigators again. Striking out pretty much. This one here, the end gun's not pumping out water, so it's either a pressure switch or a fuse. I got several, there's one right there, a hose with a nozzle plugged. Got another hose further down the span that has a big cut in it, so it's leaking out water. Yeah, and it's 90 degrees, so here I am out here walking in the corn. Now we gotta come back out with ladders and tools and work on stuff. Yeah, irrigation repair continues. Had a hose with a hole in it, split in it, so got chased up on a ladder, Putting that one back on. Get a few nozzles unplugged, figure out the end gun, get this one back to going. Only have one more then really to check out. It's a moment of truth on when we cleaned out the fan nozzle and I worked on the end gun pressure switch. All right, that looks much better. Got good power out of that. Fan nozzle, it's working, but not great. So we'll probably come back out and mess with that again at some point in time. Better than it was, but certainly not 100%. Finally, after talking about it for a long time, we bought one of these little 8-inch blade on that little Milwaukee, the pruning saw. Goes for a brush like this. Perfect. Usually use a machete for this kind of thing. You gotta whack at it a few times, so.
This is a lot faster.
A lot faster, yep.
The only thing I don't like about it is that it pulls grass and other stuff into this slot here where it oils, but a small price to pay for having this little awesome saw.
Yeah, this spot here, a lot of grass growing up around everything, so kind of a little bit of an issue. We don't have that everywhere. It, like all Milwaukee stuff, saves a lot of time. Milwaukee stuff is great.
Yes. We hate DeWalt. I don't like DeWalt tools or Snap-on tools. Snap-on power tools, that is.
Yeah, I don't know. Milwaukee works good.
Red Gang.
If you can think of it, that could be battery powered, they probably make it.
Yeah, like the weed eater and the tiller.
Weed eater, oh yeah, you name it, they got it.
Fans,
lights,
inverters,
pumps, we got it all.
Maybe we should buy the big saw that takes like 4 batteries.
Yeah, we don't need a big saw.
And by we, I mean you.
Yeah, well,
by
we, this saw was me too, so.
Yay. Thanks, Dad. There was a bird that kept landing here by the end gun, and I hate to inform him, but his residence is about to turn tropical, and his kids are now sharing their nest with the fan nozzle for this pivot. This end gun wasn't working quite right. Dad is over there by the tower. He's working on the pressure switch that tells the end gun that it has enough water pressure. Little bird eggs. Those of you who are on TikTok, the sound of the harmonica and the deep south comes to mind, looking at that sun and feeling the humidity and the 90-degree heat. But it feels better today than it has in the past couple days. Someone has the vintage wheat whacking crew out. Dad and I are both mowing here in the bottom. I've got the 4455 and the 15-foot mower. He's got the 8230 with the 20-footer. Getting it done. His primary concern was having spots mowed so we can set our nitrogen tanks to start running liquid nitrogen on to the corn through the pivots. And we hadn't mowed anything down here with our brush hogs just yet. So it's Saturday afternoon and we're just getting it done. I've already been up and down this little road here, and I have to go down one more time and then just deadhead on back. I might be bringing the 4020 down here to mow around on the short side of some of these things, because the 7-foot mower fits a lot of places that this mower does not. My sister's back from college this weekend, so I put a masterpiece on her back windshield. It's a Monday of all Mondays because... Be quiet. Because our big pivot out there has stopped moving. So I've been sent with the drone and the controller to figure out the cause of this. All right, let's go see what our problem is. We've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is the pivot's not actually stuck. The bad news is I really don't know what's actually wrong with it because, wrong joystick. As I have gone the whole distance of the pivot and I cannot find anywhere that's obviously stuck or really out of alignment. I'm not sure what the problem is. Yeah, see, as long as there's no mud in the lugs of the tires, I consider it to not be stuck. Yeah, see, I can't see anywhere the whole length of the pivot. Whoa, cool. Yeah, I can't see anywhere at all that's obviously messed up. Even the tower that's in the literal swamp, see, it's just a very large low spot out there in the field. Even that one is not stuck at all. It's just sitting there. It rained yesterday, but not enough to deter me from finishing some of the mowing here in the bottom. Let's get her started up. I just shut her down because there's some pretty scary looking clouds starting to form to the west, and yeah, I don't want to push my luck. It would be that cloud right over top of us, and I could see some rain starting to come down the bluff, so I don't have very much time. This is a pretty good example of it raining on the north end of the bottom and not on the south end. Those trees are where the river is. I don't know if it's going to get down here or not, but it's starting to sprinkle, so it's time to get out of here. We just got a little shot of rain here, but not before I got these markers broke down. Got these sold. They're going to Iowa. I've got a whole bunch of dirt and stuff on my face. But Jaden and I, we bought a 12-row 7100 from his grandpa, and those markers were on it. Put them on Facebook for 6 Benjamins. Someone took them, so that is freaking awesome. What a beautiful, beautiful view. I love it when the sky looks like this. This evening just keeps getting better and better. I figured this would be as good of a place as any to close out the video with this perfect Marion County view. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a comment if you got a question. Like the video too. Tell a friend. And I guess that's it for this one, and I will catch you guys on the next one. So take care. Peep the old grain elevator there in the background. That is where a lot of the corn that was grown here in the bottom went, was right there. There's a little rail spur that goes out to it as well. And then my truck, the pump house. I'm gonna come shut the pump off at midnight.